Hello, fellow watchers and enjoyers. Ash and Piggy here bringing you the debut edition of WHODUNNIT, which is initially starting with the Who Killed Lucy Beale story arc. This story arc generally ranges from 2014 all the way through to the ending is around 2016. So we, just like doing the normal podcast, are going to take the time to go ahead and cover the whole Who Killed Lucy Beale storyline. This is just going to be a little introductory piece which will be tacked on to the actual first episode, where we discuss, the first week of 2024. But to get
2024?
2014. But to get us all caught up on what just happened, Piggy had been tasked with going through and watching like the little final 2 weeks of Christmas of 2013. So now we're going to take the time to remind us what's happening at this time in EastEnders. Piggy,
right? I'm just gonna give a brief introduction first. How this worked is in December. Of course, me and Ash have been thinking of this idea since probably August when we went. 1985's not working. What the fuck do we do? And now it's all thankful to a person who I don't want to shout out because I do not want this document to be taken down, because if it does, we're fucked. Basically, we're el fucked. But basically, this person legally gave us access to a folder where we can watch some EastEnders. And now I'm not going to share it. I'm not going to link it. Because, again, I do not want us to be fucking...
I mean, that's how Brookside got taken down.
Yeah, because then, like, the guys going, where can I watch 2014 EastEnders? Here's a document.
Where can I watch EastEnders? Yeah. Brookside. And I'm pretty sure even this time I went, guys, shut the fuck up. Obviously a bit nicer than that, but went, this is how Brookside got fucking deleted. PMs or something, please.
Yeah, and basically, do you want me to just run through the notes?
No, running through the notes will take a hot minute, but I'll just ask you some questions. You can refresh your brain.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, what was the big Christmas moment of 2013?
Like the big Christmas storyline and payoff.
Yes.
Right, so for context, now I'm probably going to forget names, so Ash might have to correct me. So if I look up here, just know I'm trying to think of the names, because there's like hundreds of names they have to remember. So please bear with me. I can't fucking just go, oh, that's Janine, oh, that's David. But the biggest Christmas storyline leading into Christmas is Janine has confessed to David Wicks that she has killed Michael Moon and has blamed it on Alice Brannan. And Alice Brannan has been sent to court. And if I shared the notes, you can see me where I have her name down first as Alice Brannan, because Carl and David visited her in prison.
Yeah,
she's in like a community cell. And then basically, just on Christmas Eve, I just put a photo. Who's this bloke?
I suppose the link there is obviously Carol is Derek's sister, so has that family connection, right? Obviously, Derek's dead, so it's not like he can fucking be there. So, that caring auntie as such.
Yeah, and Carol Jackson is also struggling herself, because it's been revealed her mother died of cancer, and she does have cancer at this time. I don't know if it's been written out years later, but at this time she has cancer in her right breast.
Can't act like it doesn't happen. Well, never happened. No, yeah, of course.
Because I don't know what happens down the road. Like, I could say this and then some block.
Yeah, I suppose that's the difference. Is obviously, I vaguely know what happens during this time, as I watched bits of the Lucy stuff. I watched the Ben Mitchell return in 2015. I know enough to generally tell where we're at. But also, Piggy, alternatively, has not watched it before. And the most I would assume, is just, obviously, the outcome. Because, well, the certain character who did it hasn't been allowed to forget.
Yeah, And basically Cindy also just chastises them every fucking day. Like they go, "Oh, character, how fucking dare you kill my daughter?" And butter and toast.
exactly.
Was that the same weapon you used to kill her, you murderer? I was like, butter
And
and
I
toast with
suppose
jam.
just in between this, obviously, look, we know we're covering something that's already been found out. Like the hype's not going to be there. It's not going to be like covering the Who Dies at Christmas, because obviously nobody knew. Obviously, people are going to know, but it's about reliving it, reviewing it, figuring out how exactly it's going to be. Because look, you barely get the time to go back and rewatch old soaps, you know, especially in our line of fucking content where it's like you need to be up to date right now. You might want to do older stuff, but also what's the point, you know? So this is just a way to go back and look back at a storyline. I've seen people often, like some people being like, I've not been as excited for EastEnders as I have since the Who Killed Lucy storyline. So I don't know if that's a barometer. I don't know how many people did like it at the time, but yeah.
It's the kind of thing that, before you ask me more questions, I feel like every decade will have a who did who, if that makes sense. The 2000s had who shot Phil.
Yes.
The 2010s had who killed Lucy Beale.
Obviously,
the 2020s
the 2000s as well also had Who Killed Archie.
Yeah, and also in the 2020s we have, of course, who's the body on the floor. And the only difference with this whodunit is we know who done it, but the people in the show don't know who done it, except for the 6 women.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just really fun to do, because it's like, even because during like last year I was going through Hollyoaks 2015, and that's where another whodunit who fucking killed a lot of people, where the gloved hand killer is revealed. But obviously I knew who the gloved hand killer was because I'd seen a bunch of stuff talking about it. But like, even still getting the reveal, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, sure, if you know the ending, for some people it might ruin the outcome and it might kill the story. But for a lot of people, the build-up's just as good, right?
Yeah, it's I wouldn't describe it like a movie because that wouldn't be fair. Because a movie, yes, it might be 20 years old. Let's just take Fight Club, for example. Yes, you might know the ending to Fight Club, but you're still going to be invested no matter the ending. Like, you might see the ending hundreds of times, but you're still going to be, holy, I can't believe this ending to Fight Club. Like, people, it's not the same with soaps, because soaps, everyone's like, oh, who killed Lucy Beale? It's revealed that this character did it. Oh, fucking shit. Oh. It's like, yeah, I don't. It's like you can't really compare it, if you know what I mean. Like, movies that come out 30 years ago, people just don't talk about the ending. They talk about, oh, Fight Club's actually about this brilliant film of a guy losing his mind. They don't go, oh, the ending's where he blows up everything and fucking just Pixies Where's My Mind plays. Like, they just talk about how great the film is. It's weird with soaps where it's like, yeah, we only acknowledge the ending. So yeah, but there is some good stuff in it. Like before Who Kills Lucy Beale, of course. I know it might seem rushed, but we also obviously have Johnny Carter comes out to Mick Carter.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good stuff during this time. And we're not just going to be covering the Who Killed Lucy stuff. We're going to be covering the whole time period. So if you've ever wanted a chance to relive this time, but you haven't had the opportunity, join along with us and tell us what you think in the comment section.
So, any other questions you have when we resume?
Oh, of course. All right. Other questions. Obviously, that was a big debut. That was a big that was a big entrance to the square. A new era of the Queen Vic, and who may that have been?
Lady Di. Obviously. Bazinga. Had to get that in there. No, in all seriousness. So Phil, from what I can gather, wanted Kat and Alfie out of the Queen Vic because they moved back in.
Yeah.
And Janine is desperately trying to get the Queen Vic because it's her home, essentially. Even though it's not.
Yeah.
Even though it's not.
I mean, she was there with Frank and Pat for a good long while.
Right. All right. I stand corrected. And she really wants the Queen Vic. And basically, the reason I'm bringing this up is because Phil's like, you give me money by Christmas Day, I won't sell the Queen Vic to this secret buyer. And of course, she doesn't get the money to Phil because, of course, David held her hostage and basically goes, give me the 250k. So basically, at 5 o'clock on Christmas Day, it's revealed. Phil phones him. This scene made me giggle so much. So I'm gonna have to hold my cup here if you don't mind. So Phil's like, all right, you got the money. Will you be here in 15 minutes? Sorry. And then it cuts to the Queen Vic. And it fucking, all you see is this man going, sorry, Alfie. Just put myself a pint, you know? Just pull myself a pint. The money's on the table. I'll be there in 15, Phil. I don't know if I can make it, though. And it's just, it's, of course, Mick Carter. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant entrance. And he hands the money to Phil. And he basically becomes the new landlord of the Queen Vic.
Yeah.
I'm starting to enjoy Mick Carter, even though I've only seen him for about 4 episodes now. But I'm starting to get why people consider him so highly.
I mean, he got a hero's welcome, really. You know, he's got it with his family. I mean, it's kind of it's the Umbrella family as well. Not Umbrella family. It's the nuclear family, right? That's the term where it's like, you know, wife, kids, like grandparent, dog, well, sister. At the time, of course, but you know, like it's this big fucking entrance, and of course, you know, most people in British culture know who Danny Dyer is, and it's like, oh fuck, all right, and everybody has the preconceived notions about Danny Dyer, but the difference is with this is obviously Mick is he's a nice fucking guy. He's not a piece of shit. He's not like an asshole. And obviously that role goes to Linda. And oh boy, you had some things to say about Linda, didn't you?
Yeah, you know, like how Danny Dyer, you know, he curses all the time. I like to imagine at the start it's like, okay, Danny, yeah, you have to talk normal here. It's like, fucking onions and pears, love, onions and pears. And it's like, Danny, stop cursing. Fucking pull me a pint. You want a fucking pint of course? Queer. And it's like, Danny, shut up. It's like how I like to imagine it. It's like, Danny, will you shut the fuck up and say your lines? And he's just being Danny Dyer. And like, shut the fuck up. We'll fire you. Shut the fuck up.
It's like how he told a story about him and his on-screen son, Lee. Before they ruined the Queen Vic because they were just fucking down in pints because they used to have real alcohol in the pumps. They used to have real booze, so you just have like it was just them two fucking sculling pints just back and forth. And after like 13 pints deep, they're both like just an absolute mess, and it's like, they got through it, like, but it then became like corn syrup or some shit, you know, no longer actual alcohol. Yeah.
I'd love to be there. Like I don't really like. The problem is I don't mind Danny Dyer. It's just you look at him. He might not be an asshole in real life. He might not be. You look at him and you go, "You're a giant asshole." like that's probably just my perspective.
Everything about his persona screams.
Yeah, because he's
prick.
He's basically Ross Kemp, but where's he from again?
What?
Danny Dyer, where's he from? Cockney?
Yeah, it's Cockney.
Yeah, he's basically a Cockney Ross Kemp, but the problem is Ross Kemp knows he's kind of messing sometimes. But Danny Dyer is very much, this is real to me. He's like a wrestler, basically, where he's like, this sport is real to me. I would bleed. I would die for this sport. I would fucking... That's how Danny Dyer is perceived. Like, obviously, that you have the famous clip where he's in the car, or he's walking around this football stadium, going, the fucking atmosphere here is mental, and it's just some fat guy eating a cheeseburger. And it's still one of my favourite scenes of Danny Dyer. Fucking atmosphere here. You could cut the tension with a knife.
But yeah, obviously Mick, nice, Linda. I genuinely believe everybody loves Linda now because Linda's been her image has been rehabbed to fuck now that Mick's gone. But till 2023, one of the most hated fucking characters on the show because she's obnoxious, she's really entitled, she's loud, she's abrasive. And it's basically they flip the roles on its head, right? Where you expect Danny Dyer to be the absolute prick, but he turns out to be the fucking nice one. But it's always fun. I suppose for exits, do we have any exits at the end of
Joey,
2013?
I believe, I don't know if he's officially gone, like gone,
Yeah.
or he's just took a break at this time. But I believe his name is Joey Brannon, Derek
Yes.
Brannon's son.
Yes.
I remember things.
Hmm.
He's basically after the 25th or the 26th. He basically goes, "Look, my sister's not getting out of jail. There's nothing here for me. Lauren, come with me. You love me." And
Yeah.
then Lauren like meets him at the train station. She's like, "I can't go with you. I'm sorry." And he just leaves. He just leaves. That's it. He's the only exit I can really notice. And if you technically want to count it, Phil and
Is
or not Phil and
Janine
Alfie, Cat and
technically
Alfie.
left yet?
Who?
Janine?
Oh, yeah, Jean's technically gone as well. Yeah, she went into police car on Christmas
I don't know
Day.
if she's quite gone yet, but there will be some scenes of her in jail. But spoilers. But yeah, she is on her way out. It's the end of her run. God, what else even happens? Really, it's the introduction of a new family, a new head of the Queen Vic, which is interesting, and also I think one thing to just shed the light on, the cast is really fucking strong at this time. Like, we haven't even talked about the Ronnie stuff. We haven't talked about the Roxy stuff. As far as I remember, Ronnie's about to not have a good time because she's like deep in with her feud, like in her feud with Carl White, who's this like drug dealing, like, he's basically, for a Hollyoaks example, he's Warren Fox, which is ironic because the actor who played Warren Fox, fucking Jake Lomas, is on the fucking show, and even he's not allowed to be Warren Fox. You have Carl White, who looks the fucking same, and is basically the same character that Warren is in Hollyoaks. But at the time, that fucking he was in EastEnders. It's kind of wild. What was the last we saw of Ronnie and Carl White?
I believe Ronnie. Basically, I'll have to preemphasize this. If I confuse names, I'm sorry. Ronnie and Roxy look alike to me, so you'll probably notice that I might. Yeah, I might confuse. I know the actresses are not sisters, but they look so similar. It fucking scares me. But basically, Ronnie wants to take Roxy and Amy on holidays to, I think, Ibiza or Spain. Yeah. I'll just say Spain. Save my ass. And basically, Roxy is taking cocaine again, and it's led to believe that Carl White, his name, Carl White has basically given her the drugs.
Supplying her, yeah.
And the entire New Year's Eve episode is basically Ronnie being like, "Look, Carl, you're not taking my sister." And the ending basically comes as Carl throws Ronnie onto the couch, and I shouldn't have laughed, and basically tries to rape her, and she basically fights him off, kicks him in the willy, and then backs up into to a dustbin, and then Carl tries and corners her, and then Ronnie just smacks him with something.
I think it's like a wine bottle.
And he's laid on the floor.
I think it's like a wine bottle thing.
Yeah, right. But yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, it's just a little funny line for anybody who remembers. I wonder how much we'll be seeing of Carl White in the new year. What I mean by that, we'll find out at some point during this. But yeah, I think that's a good introduction as ever, though. Like, and I suppose let's just rattle through some of the cast just to make people well aware. Like the Mitchells, you have Phil, Ronnie, Roxy. Peggy's not in it this time, is she?
Who?
Peggy.
No, Peggy's not till 2016.
Yeah. Okay. So but as like three big fucking heads of the family, Phil, Ronnie, Roxy, Billy. Sam's probably not here at this time either.
No, she's not.
Brannings, Max. You still have Lauren, Abby, Jack. He's still all very big fucking names. The Carters, all the Carters. I don't think Lee's here just yet, but obviously he will be. You have all the Carters with Shirley with a new fucking lease of life, you know, a new family to be this big sister of. Slater's Cat's still here. Cat and Alfie are still around.
Big fucking Mo is kind of here.
Is Stacey about at this time?
No, I think Stacey's not here because the Jacksons are all living in the Slater house. So
okay.
Morgan, Arthur, I think it's Arthur, Tiffany, John,
yeah.
Paul, Dave, Eric, John, Steve.
All 5 of the butchers.
All 60 of them.
Yes.
Packed into one room.
Still have Bianca at this time as well. But
Terry.
It's just, yeah, love Terry. But it's just, we have a very fucking... It's a very, like, packed cast that you don't know at the time. You have Ben Hardy's Peter as well. Ian. Who's Ian with at this time? Is he with Denise?
You're not going to believe
with
it.
Denise, isn't he?
He fucking is. And Denise, and I just want to do a preference. My hair's obviously longer, but Denise is fucking has got this fucking AJ Styles kind of hair, like
the fringe, the big old
the fucking fringe. Yeah, it's kind of all like that. Just Jesus. Basically Ash's hair, but a bit longer. You also of course have David Wicks. And Martin's apparently here. Martin is maybe here. Masood's here. I'm a big fan of Masood. Big fan.
I guess Tamwar's still here at this time. I don't think that's the only other family he has right now. There's a chance that Shabnam's still here, waiting in her return.
There's Specky. And I don't want to call him Specky, but there's a Specky guy with glasses.
Yeah,
who's brown. I forget who. Oh, Samwa. All right.
Samwa.
I had no idea. I had no idea what his name was.
He's a famous film star now.
He's a film star?
Yeah, he fucking... He became too big for EastEnders. He was in that Yesterday film where everybody forgot about the Beatles and he just started writing all the Beatles songs.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I didn't know.
Yeah,
so when you said film star, my mind went into the gutter.
No. No, like, he became way too big for EastEnders.
Fucking hell. He's definitely not coming back.
It's if he really wants to. But yeah, also we still have Dot, of course. Dot's still here.
Poppy.
We'll see. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of really good characters and really good stories to be on the way. And like honestly, I'd say this cast is fucking bloated because there's just so many good characters here. Yeah, sure, there's a couple of weird ones. You have Gary Lucy, who played Luke.
Dexter. Dexter's here.
I forgot his fucking last name. Why are you just saying random name? Basically,
I'm listening off the B characters. You know, Fat Boy, Dexter.
I suppose my angle here is it's also weird to see some Hollyoaks stars in fucking EastEnders where you have Gary Lucy,
I thought you were
who played Luke, fucking Cunningham. Who the fuck was he in Hollyoaks?
I just thought he was fucking.
And like, you obviously have Jake Stone at this time, who played Warren Fox in fucking EastEnders, in Hollyoaks rather. Like, it's a really weird time. Luke Morgan, there we are. It's a really strange time to fucking be alive because you see Hollyoaks stars in fucking EastEnders. I'm pretty sure even at this time, do we get the classic? Are we too late for Bubblies in the fridge? Are we too late for Bubblies in the fridge?
When is Bubbly in the fridge?
When was she in EastEnders? We're too late for Bubblies in the fridge. That was 2011. Fuck!
Ah, damn it.
But absolute classic. Do we have much other questions to go through for this, or do you think this is a?
If you want me to give my take on the Christmas episode, I fucking loved it. I was telling Ash yesterday because, like, for people who don't know, I put this off for ages, and then I watched it all at the time of recording. Tuesday the 16th. I watched them like throughout, like started at 1 a.m., finished at 10.
Yeah.
And basically, my favorite episode is the Christmas episode because there's a scene with Janine and Billy where Janine's like, Billy, the gun, not the gun, the things outside the house, just it's in a bag, and I went, don't tell me they're pulling out a fucking gun to shoot David. And so you just get this visual where David's he's walking down the back street of Walford where the kebab shop is.
Yeah.
And where the office is. And like Janine's like, yeah, in the office. Go to the office. That's where the money is. So David's like walking around. He's walking around. He hears some scrunches, some like things just like bottles tipping over. And he goes over to check it, and it's a cat. Not Cat Slater, just an actual cat. And basically, and I thought, wait, hold on. So if it's not a gun, why is the kebab shop flashing lights? Wait, don't think we should put a bomb in the kebab shop. And then I hit fucking runs him over, and then gets out of the car. He's like, oh, he's on his side like that. He reverses back, tries to escape, and then he gets up. He's like, fucking tries to run him over, stops, and then she gets out of the car. He just grabs her like a fucking child. It's like, gee, you bitch, you're coming with me. And fucking drags her to the house, gets the money, and it's like, I'm not phoning the police. Oh, it's so funny. It's just a visual because the kebab shop's lighting up, and I'm thinking, so someone's gonna come out of the kebab shop with a gun or a bomb, and it's gonna be funny. not funny, but it's gonna be fucking mental. Oh, it's a brilliant scene. I recommend it for anyone who hasn't seen it. Just the entire scene in the car revving up.
Yeah, I suppose, and just finally to tease, it's a good time to get into watching the show, as this is obviously building to the 30th anniversary, which was a pretty fucking big deal, you know. EastEnders making 30. And obviously the 30th reveal is the Who Killed Lucy stuff. But also you have, like, returns of, like, fucking nasty Nick, you know? Like, they fucking pulled out all the fucking stops to make this a really exciting time in the show. And that's why it's going to be really interesting to go through it. But with that aside, it's been just shy of half an hour, so I think that is a good introduction to WHODUNNIT, the Who Killed Lucy podcast. This will be tacked on to the first episode, where we'll go ahead and review the first week of EastEnders in the same format we do the podcast, and we'll watch 4 episodes, talk about the main storylines and takeaways, and we'll go from there. Hello, fellow watchers and enjoyers. Welcome back to WHODUNNIT, the Who Killed Lucy Beale podcast. Wow, that sounds good. Fucking sounds beautiful. I came up with a name again.
Oh, that's going to be another 2 weeks I have to watch by myself since Ash came up with the name. So yeah, 2 weeks from now I have to do by myself, and Ash gets to just tell me to do that, and I'll wait a month.
I'm doing everything else, so it's...
Yeah, I know. I just want to get that joking.
Only fair. Today's episode is going to cover the first 3 days of 2014. Obviously, the first, the second, and the third. Obviously, at that time, that was the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So, hey, here we go. 3-episode week. But the first episode's pretty much an hour long anyway, so... Did you really get a break? No, you fucking didn't.
And plus there was episodes on the 30th and the 31st, because I completely forgot how 2013 was laid out in the calendar wise. I bet we all did, because we were all just children, me and you. We were both, well, you were a teenager and I was just a child.
Yeah,
I was a dumb child shitting myself at fucking 10 years old.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's a very good time in EastEnders. I can tell. Yeah, my webcam's now. Why is it the minute I record, it's gone out of... Hello?
Well, you're good. You're good.
Okay. But yeah, it's a good year for EastEnders. I before we get into it, just want to give my quick thoughts. I think it'd be a good thing to do Piggy's thoughts on these characters if it's my first time seeing them. If you're happy with that.
Yeah. But let me just finish up the actual. People need to know what storylines we're going to talk about, Piggy.
Sorry.
All right, the main stories are Ronnie Mitchell kills Carl White, who essentially was EastEnders' answer to Warren Fox, even though they had Jamie Lomas on the books, but he never got to be Warren Fox in EastEnders. Not really too sure about that personally, but yes. Next up, we have Kat and Alfie having a bit of a baby shock. They're struggling, the lights aren't on, but hey, there's some baby news on the way. And finally, one of the most wholesome scenes maybe not in EastEnders, but like one of the most wholesome scenes I've seen in a long time in the show. That obviously being Johnny Carter coming out to Mick, which is absolutely fantastic. So we're going to run through those in our usual fashion. But yeah, carry on, Piggy.
I basically just want to say like my thoughts, and it's so nice seeing these characters for our first time.
Yeah.
Like I obviously knew about Lucy Beale because obviously, having free TV, you'd obviously hear like what was his name? Graham Norton going, yeah, Lucy Beale's in the crowd, fucking how do you feel about dying love? Oh, hey, coming back. It's like, oh, Graham Norton, you're not funny. You're not funny and nobody likes you. Fuck off.
What do you mean? What's wrong with Graham Norton? He's alright.
I don't know.
He's not Ellen.
If you like Father Ted, then you're gonna know he's a bit annoying.
Okay.
Yeah, because he plays a character in Father Ted, and he's a bit annoying. Like there's a brilliant scene. I know where this space in, but there's a brilliant scene in Father Ted where he has the priest Graham Norton plays. He has a ghost cape on him, like a sheet over him, and he goes boo, and they go ah, and then he takes it off, and he goes Ted, and then Ted and Dougal go ah. They don't like him. Recommend that scene. But yeah, it's a fun week. Do you want to just get into it?
Okay, I thought you were gonna drop in more, but yeah. All right. First storyline happened on New Year. This is the final payoff to the Carl White Ronnie feud. They've been feuding for a hot minute now. Obviously, Carl White was a drug dealer who just got out of prison at the time, as far as I remember, and he was kind of playing games with both Ronnie and Roxy, trying to pry Roxy away from Ronnie. And obviously, I mean, that's the one thing you don't do. You don't separate Ronnie and Roxy, because ultimately Roxy's going to do something stupid, Ronnie's going to do something controlling, they're going to have a fight, but ultimately they're going to have each other's back. And that seemed to be the dynamic between Carl White and the two of them. He also kind of had a feud with Phil as well. Like, he was just all in all a bit of a dick. He was a pretty hefty penis on the old square, was Carl White. So how's it even start on the New Year episode?
I'll have to give in context because this also bleeds in from the 30th and 31st.
Yes.
Basically, on the 30th, he's like, he's walking Roxy home. No, on the 31st, it's either the 30th or 31st. He's walking Roxy home, and then Ronnie finds cocaine in her bag. Immediately goes to Carl White, then tries to split up Roxy from Carl White, making up lies that he came on to her, started touching her up, give her a loud feely, squeezy. And then they go confront him in the chippy, and then he goes, right, look, you're clearly faking it, Ronnie. Stop faking it, you bullshitter. Stop it, you naughty girl. And he's basically like that. Then he goes into the pub, has a pint with Roxy, and then I believe he leaves, and then Ronnie comes into the flat, finds him in his flat, and she has an argument with him. He tries to rape her. There's no easy way to put that. He does. He throws her under the couch. He fucking fell between three fucking Sexy walk up to her, trying to get on top of her. She kicks him right in the balls or in the stomach, and then she gets back up to the dustbin in the flat, and basically tries to fight Carl, James Carl, and basically she hits him with an elephant door stopper or a wine
Is it
bottle
actually
opener.
an elephant? I thought it was a wine bottle.
It looked like an elephant. I don't know. It's just you made out details that Amy was playing with the fucking weapon, so I was like, it's an elephant door stopper.
Well,
So
she wasn't playing with a weapon. There was just a blood splatter next to her toy.
right, all right. Sorry, so then it probably was a wine bottle.
It was a wine bottle. It's just the elephant happened to be there because she's a kid.
And I'll run through the rest if you don't mind. You can chime in when you.
I mean, it's there's kind of a bit of weird chemistry between Ronnie and Carl, where there's this kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's this like unspoken battle of like power between the two, and I feel like, not to say that Carl kind of, they framed him in a similar way as to how they framed Archie, where he's like this kind of like big, overbearing, controlling, like kind of power hungry, and that like power dynamic between like two people. Like, you just wanted full control. And obviously that was a similar thing to how Ronnie was with Archie. And that you kind of get this, it's a little game of chess, right? It's just kind of them playing games with one another. And obviously Carl's a bit more aggressive. So yeah, it fucking ended with him getting smashed in the side of the head.
And then basically Ronnie tries to, I don't want to say feel up Phil, that sounds wrong. Tries to chat up Phil, and basically, look Phil, I need your help. Meanwhile, Sharon's like, we need to buy curtains for Denny. I need a new washing machine. I need this, Phil. I need this. And Phil's just like, look, you two are shouting at me. One at a fucking time, please. And he's like, here, Sharon, buy yourself a fucking wash machine or a dryer. Buy some fucking curtains and fuck off, please. Ronnie, what do you want? And then Ronnie's like, just come to the garage with me. Come to the autos with me.
This is also Sharon and Phil back together at last.
Yeah.
All the Shirley stuff's in the past. It's no longer a thing with Phil. See, Shirley's moved on to better things, like having a family with her. And yeah, it's also, what, like 2 years or so when after Sharon returned, she came to Phil's with a painkiller addiction. Then there was a bit of a tussle for Sharon with Jack as well. But it's a very fresh, they are together. No one else is going to stop them. Phil's trying to not be dodgy anymore. He's trying to not be a criminal. But also, Ronnie does get in his ear and goes, you do know that he did try to kill you. Yeah, like, if he didn't know, Carl fucking, he crashed a car and like undid Phil's seatbelt, so he sent fucking Phil out the fucking car, flying, which obviously fucking pretty like sent him through the windscreen. So he's pretty fucked up, pretty hurt. That's why she was like, just like, he tried to kill you. You gotta do nothing. And yeah, Phil is battling with a conflict of like, do I fucking, I'm good now. I'm good. And Ronnie's like, you're not good. You've got no sack. You fucking little bitch. Sharon got her balls in your purse now, do you?
Basically, fair enough. Basically, Ronnie brings Phil to the Mitchell autos. I keep trying to call it the Taylor autos. Then I'm like, he's not introduced yet. He's not introduced. It's just the Archers, but I'll just call it the Mitchell autos because that's probably what I'll call it. Carl is not buried, but he's underneath.
He's in the little pit.
He's in the little pin.
Mate, I don't want to tell you how many people have fallen in that fucking thing. It's like, oh, Phil knocked into it. Oh, just everyone. Any scuffle in the garage in that fucking pit. There you go.
Forget Blackford. And Phil then basically lifts him up out of it. Probably pulls him up, and then basically tortures him.
Yeah, starts beating the fuck out of him.
He just tortures him. He doesn't torture him.
Trying to take away my family, boss. Yeah, trying to fucking kill me, boss. And then the second he pulls out a crowbar, Ronnie's like, no, Phil, you'll stain the floor. And then she kind of once again continues the I'm in control. Why are all you men like this with all your fucking mummy issues, you know? All this toxic masculinity, essentially. Just fucking you're gonna fucking leave.
Yeah, this is funny to me. I know it's not supposed to be funny because Carl is supposed to be a serious character. But basically walk him to the tube station. Sorry, but they're walking to the tube station like he's a child. Go on, you're a big boy now. You're a big boy. You can go on the train.
On your own little adventure, you are. And then
go on now. Good boy.
It's a part of Ronnie, because Ronnie's very cold and calculating, but I don't know. I feel like there's some I think there's a bit of naivety here where she doesn't entirely oh yeah, he'll just leave. It's like, yeah, there's no way he doesn't leave. We threatened him, he'll leave. And Phil's like, he's gonna come back. You know that, right? Ronnie's like, nah, we saw him leave. And very shortly, he doesn't leave.
And I'll basically run through what happens next. So basically, he kind of, I don't know if that's picking up, but he's knocking on the fucking door, the back door, and then there's a doorbell rings at the front door. Who could it be? Could it be Phil? Could it be Amy? Could it be Billy? Find out in 5 seconds. I'll give you 5 seconds, guys, to figure this out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's Amy. Amy's of course like 4, 3 here, 3, 4, and
young kid.
Yeah, Ronnie picks her up and is like, all right, come with me. And then Carol is in the kitchen.
It takes the thing in her brain like, where's Roxy? Where's Roxy? Like something's wrong.
And then Carol is doing the fucking Super Mario Bros. 3 when Mario can turn into a statue because he's stood up like that against the fucking door like that. Like, you won't see me. I'm holding my breath. I'm so cool.
Thing when you try to sneak past someone, but like, it's not a video game, lads. Just fucking, you're just hiding in plain sight.
It's funny. It's the way he stood up. He's just stood up like that. Like, won't find me here, lads. Fuck you.
Look, he's a wide man.
But he's stood up, and he basically steals Phil's money.
Yeah.
And Ronnie's like, okay, Amy, just sit in the safe room. Watch Peppa Pig.
Money, and also kind of hints like, oh, I bet you want to where Roxy is. Well, you know, like just Roxy's in danger.
And then she follows Carol to the Mitchell Autos and basically goes, right.
I suppose, yeah, his plan is to take Phil's like 150k or whatever and leave in the car in the Arches.
And basically he comes into the Autos, he notices Ronnie picking up the money, and it's like, Ronnie, you're going nowhere. And then he goes to fucking grabs her, picks her up, throws her, starts smooching her, and then for some reason, which I think he's an idiot, he bends down and like she just hits him the car boot door. Like,
yeah, like he does try to rape her, and yeah, he fucking
no. I know that's not making him an idiot, but I'm saying the fact he just bends down.
It's just more so. I'm just making the context fully clear.
Yeah.
Big scene.
All right, sorry.
Does try to rape her, like not good, and so obviously Ronnie kind of shocked because I think Ronnie kind of naively thinks I've got this under control, right? He's gonna listen to me. I've given him a lifeline, and then just note the worst. Yeah, bends over, head in the boot, and just fucking smash, fucking boot to the head. The car boot, that is. And obviously, I don't know. Ronnie does really good at like just kind of visceral acting, where she just shrieks in like this really disturbing fucking scream as she's just had to murder someone. Self-defense, but...
And basically, she puts him in the back of the boot, drives to the fuck all of nowhere, and does what the six women should have done in 2024, brings him to the car, what are they called?
The I don't know, junkyard. They crushed the car, essentially.
Yeah, they crushed the car while he's in the boot. And I just thought, Ash, wouldn't that be a scary way to go out? You're fucking just being compressed.
I mean, it's why people get upset about Fat Boy, right?
Yeah, but fuck Fat Boy.
But yeah, it's why people... yeah, we fucking... Well, I mean, to be fair, he's not that worried because he's already dead. Like, be real with you, mate. Don't think he was doing anything. He's not wetting himself. He's not doing anything. He's dead. He was dead on impact immediately.
Do you know?
But
yeah,
it's a terrific way to go.
Do you know that? I know it sounds horrible because it would never happen. Could you imagine? Just stay in the car, or whatever the actor's name's like. Just stay in the car, and they're like, yeah, now scene. Oh, fuck, he's in the car. Quick, stop. Oh no, he's crushed. Well, this is going to be interesting to the family. We've killed a man.
I said absolutely fucking horrific.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, that probably has happened somewhere. I know. I know it's very dark, but I know there was a scene. What was it called? It was for some sort of movie in the '60s, and they got fireworks, and this guy was driving a helicopter, and it was for a film, and of course, this before FX and how you can sort of green screen everything. So they're like, please do not press the fireworks. I'm driving the helicopter, please. Like the chopper. They're like, please do not. And they're like, fuck it, you can see. The fireworks start going off, and the helicopter can't see. So in this scene, the man's supposed to protect the children. But the fucking helicopter can't see, so the helicopter just comes flying down and kills them instantly. Christ. And I'm like, oh shit. Jesus. I'm glad we've changed. But yeah, I think it's from that famous TV show, not Quantum Realm, fucking you've heard of, I don't know. But yeah, I just want to bring that up. That has happened, so yeah.
And
my thoughts.
Yeah, I suppose. Just talk about the death and that. Then we'll go.
Yeah, my thoughts on this is it's from what I've seen of Carol for the past
2 weeks.
2 weeks. For the past 2 weeks, it's been interesting. He wasn't really on screen during Christmas, but he was there at the end of December and only there for the start of January. And basically, it was fun. It's fun to see a murder happen on EastEnders. It's either going to be a cover-up or they're just going to forget about it.
It was also funny. I just laughed at it because obviously I knew that he dies like immediately. I wonder how much we'll see of old Carl White dead next episode. It's one of those funny little things. I'm like, I vaguely know what happens here.
And my stupidity thought when the car boot hit him, I fucking thought Ronnie decapitated him, and I'm like, there's no way a car boot can decapitate you. I understand it is heavy as fuck, but it can't decapitate you. It's not guillotine.
The old neck bone's a little too fucking sturdy for that. But yeah, it's the Carl White character. Once again, I still paint the comparisons, and maybe I'm completely off kilter, but he is just EastEnders Warren Fox. Pretty much, that's the character. That's who he is. He's a lowlife. He's a criminal, but he also, unlike Warren, was never like given any like serious emotional depth. He was just an absolute piece of shit. And it's interesting. It's kind of the one thing I'm both looking forward to and not looking forward to is just I'm not ready for in about 2 weeks where just more tragedy for Ronnie. Because look, everybody says that Whitney was Whitney was never the original trauma. Ronnie was the you're not doing it right then. That's rough. Oh wow, you're still struggling, are you? You're like, it's just that constant barrage of misery, which I'm not looking forward to. Because, oh boy. But it's, I don't know, I just, it's, the level of this stuff is like fucking already top. Because you already have Ronnie, who's incredible. You have Carl White, who's been this big, imposing villain. And Roxy's involved, Phil's involved, like, and this is just like a fucking New Year episode, right? That's the wild stuff. Like, this is just casually fucking new, like, obviously New Year's a big deal, but like, Phil acting, him being Phil. Oh, it's just great stuff.
Yeah, it's actually great to see Phil acting. I keep bringing up that, but I'm just shocked at Sharon, because like Sharon is. I'm not being mean. I'm not fat shaming her, but it's just so weird seeing Sharon before she lost all the way. And like, congratulations to her, but it's just like mental, because you see her now, she's like that, like slim, but fucking 10 years ago, I was like that. Like, oh, Jesus.
Right. Yeah, so the Ronnie and Carl White stuff is a lot of fun. But it is going to be interesting to see where they go from here. But a lot of it will probably be the cover-up and kind of dealing with the potential grief. The aftermath comes in where Ronnie fucking gets the holiday. Well, she gets back, she sorts out the body, she gets back to, I assume, Ronnie's place, and she just sees Roxy's place, and just sees Roxy like passed out with some pills and some vodka. And for a second, she's like, oh shit, like, oh fuck, Carl got to her, And then Amy kind of runs in like, Mummy, and then she wakes up, and then Ronnie kind of gets the like, whew, because ultimately, as much as Carl was bluffing, he didn't do anything to Roxy. Like, he was completely bluffing. And that's the funny bit. They then go off on holiday to Spain, or Ibiza probably, if I had to guess, with Amy. And Ronnie just fucking leaves all the mess for Phil to deal with. Like, oh, you're right, have his phone. Here's your cash back. Phil sees this, holds the phone, realizes, oh shit, that's fucking blood. Uh-oh. Because obviously Kirsty's sniffing around, because Kirsty was pretty much like the one who brought him in. She was his ex. And so she's obviously like, where's Carl at? But yeah, it's kind of just very funny, just like, not my fucking problem, see ya, bye. See you in a couple of weeks, Phil, see ya. just classic stuff. And that is the Ronnie kills Carl White stuff. All in all, fantastic start, a good New Year's episode, and it's always good when you can just start watching something out of nowhere and immediately be pretty fucking hooked. Where, for you it's completely new. For me, it's like, I vaguely know what happens, but I've not watched it, so it's seeing actually how it plays out, and it's just very cool.
It's like because again, I don't mean to shit talk the older folks on this channel, but we're more younger, so like, this is our Who Shot Phil, basically. I know, basically, I wasn't a fan, but it was essentially our Who Shot Phil, or Who Killed Den Watts, or I don't know what for the 90s. Do you have one for the 90s?
Who is Michelle Fowler's baby daddy?
That's the 80s.
Yeah. I mean, it's how fucking Den was thought about as Dirty Den. So,
well, the only time he's been dirty
because he was sleeping with his daughter's 16-year-old best friend. So,
how art intimidates life.
Classic Den.
Okay, moving on. Yeah, we're not going to ignore that. We're going to ignore that art intimidates life comment, because Leslie Grantham has never done anything like that in real life. I promise.
Allegedly.
allegedly, in a video game in Minecraft that came out. It just came out this year, technically. So yeah. Kat and Alfie, yes, they've got a new place. I believe it's a new place. I don't think Big Mo's there.
It generally looks like the Slaters, if I had to say, but I can't.
It's not Slaters.
Oh,
because I think the Jacksons live in the Slater house.
Yeah.
Which I'm confused how it goes from the Jackson house to back to the Slater house.
Well, I assume the Slaters live with Pat, and I don't think Pat's house is the Slater house. I don't think the Slaters lost the house. There's Jean, I think.
Wait, I'm confused. Wait, the fuck? So the Slater house is not Pat's house then? It's not Pat's house, is it?
No, it's a different house.
So wait, if I just been thinking, because David mentioned something in the Christmas episode how Pat died in that bed. So I just went, oh, she died in the Slater house. No, it's a different house.
Yeah, no, it is the same house. I don't know where the fuck. I don't know where the fucking Slaters. I don't know where. I guess there just weren't that many Slaters at this time, were there?
No, there was only Kat, Alfie, Big fucking Mo, and probably Uncle Charlie.
Yeah,
but he wasn't here yet. No. I know a scene that happens in 2014 where Jean arrives back and they say goodbye to Walford. I've no idea in the time frame of 2014 where that happens. I know Jean is back in 2014. I think fucking Stacey's back by 2015. I know that much, and I can't tell you the rest.
Yeah, just keep it going. Keep it going.
But yeah, Kat and Alfie are in a new flat. They're celebrating. They're celebrating the fact that they don't own the Queen Vic anymore. They're out of the Queen Vic, fresh new start. Because they've been on and off there for about 9 years at that point, on and off in there. So it's a new start for them. Alfie, they're thinking of baby names. They have names in cups for all their kids, which I didn't know. I just thought they were coming up with nicknames for Tommy. Like, oh, his name going to be Johnny, his name going to be Paul, like Frank. But no, they're basically struggling for money. Wouldn't be the Slaters without struggling for money, would it? And they have money troubles. But Alfie talks to, what's his name again? The guy who runs the stalls.
Oh, Tamwa.
He talks to Tamwa and he's like, oh mate, friend of a friend, I'll hook you up if you hook me up, you know what I mean, brother? I'll kebab for a kebab, I'll eye for an eye. The good old Alfie charm. And Tamwa's like, fair enough. And in classic Alfie fashion, he buys stock without realising what the stock is. And it turns out it's the exact same stock that Kat had. And Kat and Alfie are challenging each other for money. And basically, Kat's selling dresses for £30. Alfie's selling them for 25. So Kat ends up selling hers for 20. They have an argument. Kat goes back to the house, tries to turn on the lights. She stands in heels on a chair to fix the light. And just immediately, I'm going to say it, I know he's not even a wrestler yet, fucking Darby Allin bumps. Fucking face first onto the table.
On the gut.
Right on the gut. Fucking
right on
5 years off your career.
Right on the baby bump.
Right also, on the baby bump. 5 years off your career.
They're currently at 23 Albert Square, which is now what was turned into the Taylors, like up and down, like upstairs and downstairs. It was just one house.
Oh, it's just one house at the time. Oh, fair enough. So wait, where does Big fucking Mo live?
I don't fucking know, mate.
I don't think she's on the show yet.
I've already had to do some fucking digging to find this out. So you keep going.
And thank you. And basically they got another 2 week episodes I'll do by myself. Just adding on to that. The more he does research, the more I have to add on episodes to watch by myself. That's how it works. And I have to be more active in Discord. That's how it works. But yeah, basically, Alfie runs home. It's Kat, I know you're angry with me. Kat's like trying to, my gut. She's trying to grab onto the chair, but she can't. She's like a cat who can't really get any grip. And basically, Alfie picks her up and calls over Terry, which I swear Terry was in TV shows before, because I recognise that bald wanker from somewhere. And Terry basically pops them in the taxi, drives them off to the hospital. They go to the NHS hospital, which if it was real life, they'll be there for about 60 hours waiting to get an appointment. But it's EastEnders, they're only waiting about 5 minutes. And they get an appointment. They check Cat's bump. It's all good. They bring Cat for a cat and hot cat scan, a baby scan, and she's rubbing the oil on Cat's belly. She's,
it's obviously Cat's pretty fucking worried because just like 1 or 2 years ago was when they thought they'd lost their baby. They thought they'd lost Tommy with the old baby swap. So obviously, Cat's fucking terrified. Like, we lost the baby, it's not good news, it's not fucking good news. But when the nurse is a bit startled, and they're like, oh, fucking hell, the like face just drops from both of them, just like, what the fuck? What the fuck's happening? Then the nurse just kind of, like, has this massive grin as she realizes that they're having twins. And it's like, sounds like fucking mayhem, but also very nice for Cat and Alfie.
Yeah, and then Alfie brings Cat home, and Terry's talking about how babies were born in the back of his cab, and there's a little dog or cat ornament in the back bobblehead, which I noticed straight away.
It's a little nodding dog.
Yeah, which I'm like, I can't take this scene serious, but Terry's talking about them, and they're like, oh, Jesus, and the dog's just bobbing along in the back seat. They go home. Alfie, brings her the scan like photo. Brings 2 cups of tea, sits down beside her. Goes up to the belly and goes, "Bert, Ernie, you in there? How's it going, pal?" Something like that. And that's basically how the scene ends. That's Cat and Alfie's week. It was a very good week. I thought this was the birth of Tommy, but I stand corrected.
No, Tommy was Michael Moon.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be funny if this was actually Derek Branning's twins? That would be hilarious. Because obviously there was a big like who's sleeping with Cat story, and obviously it spawns the fucking amazing image where you just see Derek Branning like put a cigar in, light it up, just what? I don't know the line, but it's just like But yeah, it's I would love to say it's nice to see Cat and Alfie happy, but look, I don't know if they're gonna stay happy for much longer. I'll be real with you, because we can already see some of the cracks forming. Like, yeah, sure, they're having twins and it's really great, but they still can't afford to live. Like, yeah, sure, they're no longer running the Queen Vic, but they still can't afford to live. They can't afford to look after 2 more twins. Not 2 more twins, but 2 extra twins, rather. Like, it's always a bit of a... Because, I don't know if they wanted to kind of, like, juxtapose it towards, like, Arthur and Pauline and kind of Alfie and Cat, where in this instance, Alfie doesn't really want to work for some reason. Like he's just doesn't want to work anymore. So he's become quite work shy.
It's interesting, I think, but it's weird when you're looking at it from a lens of 2024. It's now been 10 years. Fuck, it's been 10 years since this saga started, or this, fucking series, because they leave in 20. I'm going to try and fix the timeline, and I want you to correct me if I'm wrong. But they leave in 2015.
Yeah.
Start Redwater in 2016, which is canon, not canon, but canon, but not canon, but canon. Cat comes back in 2017. I want to say.
I think it's 2018.
It's 2018 when big fucking. I keep calling her Big Fucking Mo.
Yeah, I don't know why.
There's a wrestler that Slater always speaks of called Big Fucking Joe, so I like calling her Big Fucking Mo. I just like it. I like the nickname for her. And Mo basically fakes Kat's death. Kat comes back in 2018. Then we get the infamous Hayley Slater, Alfie Moon saga, where Alfie's selling dead coffins, trying to get people to buy coffins. Then obviously on Christmas Day.
Dead coffins.
Dead coffins.
Trying to sell funerals to people who aren't dead yet.
Yeah. And he basically, then we obviously on Christmas Day, we get the infamous scene, You Slater Women. He gets pushed down the stairs, fucks off for a few years, comes back in 2022, I want to say.
Yep.
And that's basically their entire year. That's basically the rest of their history up to now.
Yeah, and even Kat in between wasn't really doing much. She was just with whoever. She's now with Kush. Yeah. She's now, it's just like
I can't. Alright, I can't. I know we're supposed to be talking about Kat and Alfie, but I can't really just. It's weird because 20 years ago I understand that, like, we're a great couple, but I feel like 2005 was a great send off, and I feel like if you were going to bring anyone back, I'm not saying I wouldn't bring back Kat, but if I'm debating between Kat and Alfie, who would I bring back more? It's obviously Kat.
Yeah, of course, agreed.
I was going to say Alfie, then I realised no, it's not Alfie.
Oh yeah, I thought you were going to say Alfie, and I was going to be like, no, but like, I don't know. It's just something weird with Kat where I don't know if they want to keep like trying to just strike lightning in a bottle again and just find that like really charming, loving, but like even at this time they're giving them storylines, but they're not like they're not original Kat and Alfie again. It's just one of those things where it's a lovely build to it and it's a really nice send off, but like that's where the movie ends. The movie ends, they're happy. You don't fucking have to think about it. Now they've got to live together and raise a family. Like they're not good as a couple.
You know what I describe it as? It's basically they did the movie approach, but they have a send off in 2005, and they come back in 2010. They have that's the sequel movie, 2010 to 2015, and then they do not a prequel. What's the thing called? Not a sequel, a spin-off. They do a spin-off of Kat and Alfie, and then basically the third movie comes out, completely retcons the previous two films, shits the bed, and then destroys the entire franchise. And the fourth film is currently in works now, and it's like, Kat was with Alfie, but now she's with Phil and Cut. Who knows? It's a new franchise, guys. It's a new franchise. It's a completely new franchise. We've rebooted it. It's completely new. Don't worry. And it's like, guys, you're not going to strike lucky 3 times. Like, as much as I love Kat and Phil over Phil and Sharon, Kat just doesn't work. I don't think her charm's there anymore. Even in 2015, like, if I was watching this and I knew the context of 2005 and shit, I just don't think it works in 2014. I just think,
and I do agree somewhat. I don't want to entirely like divulge and make this like a big topic personally, but like
we can. It's fine.
Just to generally, just to generally air it out. I just like even currently, and I know this is just stating this as well, but Kat is, I don't know. It just, they've lost the charm with her. They've taken Kat away from the Slaters. So now Kat's not even really a Slater. But she's not involved with the Mitchell stuff. So she's a Mitchell by proxy. So she doesn't get involved with the Mitchell stuff. But she also doesn't get involved with the Slater stuff. So she doesn't fucking do anything. Like, it's
basically, it's taking a character from a franchise, putting them in a new environment, but the environment doesn't work. It's like taking someone from the 1950s, putting them in 2010, and it's like they're going to be very racist, very homophobic. It's not going to work. That's how I feel. It's like they're taking a character from 2000, putting her in a new environment, but it's like just work. Yeah, they're like shoving the piece in, but it's not fitting, and it's like just leave it. I understand.
And I mean, I think that's why obviously they will reset. They'll default again. Kat and Alfie get back together, and they can actually give them a proper try. Because I feel like, I don't know why this has turned into the 2024 Cat and Alfie talk, but just to put a fine pin in it, obviously I feel like the story they're leading to now is obviously Cat supports Alfie through his cancer, and then Alfie gets the all clear, and then they realise that it's always been each other, they get married again, and they just live happy and keep going. You know, they just get to keep living their life together.
And then Hayley Slater comes back again and fucks everything up.
But, like, you know, they won't be happy for that long, but, like, just to have them together, have that dynamic, that will be important to the show. And that's where I feel like it's going. So that's why I'm not too worried about the character just yet. But if she just stays in limbo, like, it's, you know, it's just like, you may as well send her away for a bit. Pretty much.
Yeah, and I know I will wrap this up now, but, like, I just don't know how to feel about Cat, because I'm like, I know what's happening to you, but I also at the same time don't know what's happening to you in 2014. But I'm like, it's just, it's weird if you look at it, because you're like, am I supposed to be cheering for this character? Am I supposed to be booing them? Like, Cat you're trying to get sympathy for, but at the same time it's like, woo, boo, woo, woo, boo, woo.
Well, it's like you've had a really rough life, and we're sad for you, but you know this life ain't that much better. So that's just generally that's the Cat dilemma, and it'll be interesting to both revisit normal time and see how the character progresses through 2014. But yeah, it's but you know they are getting twins, and it's Alfie's actually going to be a dad this time, rather than the last time where it was Michael Moon's. Actually, Alfie's kids, and it's going to be interesting to see. Let's just move on to the final topic, which will all bring it into the one. It's fundamentally the Carters, but also the main scene being Johnny coming out to Mick in a really emotional scene, but let's not go there first. Let's wrap through all the other stuff. We get introduced to Nancy, who Nancy at this time, if you didn't know her in her like original form, she was like a chav, like likes to wear like tracksuits and doesn't do anything with her hair, you know, like a tomboy type girl, likes her sports, like holds her own, isn't like a fucking dainty on display like Linda would want her to be, I guess, is the way to describe it. And we initially see her at a wedding where she's wearing a tracksuit. What the fuck's the other guy's name? Whatever, he's not important.
Tyrone? No, it's not Tyrone.
Why are you going straight for Tyrone?
I don't know.
For fuck's sake. We're trying to rehab your image, Piggy.
Wilson, is that his name?
No.
It's something beginning with a W.
We only watched the episodes like 2 hours ago.
I know, and I already...
That's just fucking Tyrone. What's wrong with you? Wayne.
Wayne? Oh, it's close. It was something beginning with a W.
Wasn't
that
Tyrone.
Name's not suiting. Because I immediately, when I think of Wayne, I think of my neighbour who just had long hair, but he's balding and he has a big bushy beard. I just think of him.
Fucking okay. Jesus. Okay. I was like, where's this going? Where's this going?
Well,
he's not a Tyrone.
Wayne doesn't suit him.
He's not a Wayne.
It's not a Wayne.
So yeah, Wayne and Nancy gonna get married. They get married in a small little wedding. You know, Nancy's in a tracksuit, Wayne's in a tracksuit. And the Carters have to show up, and they have to Mick has to kind of mediate between Linda and Shirley, who they only really got along in like the last year, like maximum. So it's them two just bickering, and it's fantastic. But we'll get onto some of the other Carter stuff later. But this ends the wedding after Wayne just gives her a massive slap on the old bum. And then Mick just goes, fuck this. Over the shoulder, arse out. You're fucking coming home with me. You're not getting married to this prick. And, we learn there's a bit of tension in the Carters because, I don't know, they don't seem like a very functional family as a whole. Because you have like the weird subsections of the Carters where you have Johnny, who is gay. Linda doesn't know want to believe he's gay, but you have him who is closeted and very gay, trying to being the sensible good boy, Then you have Nancy, who obviously has a lot of issues with Linda because Linda is always basically she's not the daughter that Linda wanted. Linda wanted a princess type daughter who loves her makeup, loves her, I don't know, whatever fucking stereotypes that kind of thing, wants a girly girl. And Nancy was never that.
Third guy. We have the third guy.
Yeah, and Lee as well, which we don't need to, which we'll get into when he arrives on the show. Also, Lee is the very almost toxic masculinity type. I'm in the army. I'm a man's man. Look at me. But you also have Shirley, who's basically the old drunk who's just scowls at everyone. But you also have Tina, who's a very proud lesbian, just fucking, just very cheeky, very chipper. Doesn't ask a lot from people.
I just want to go through the scene that happened either on the 30th or the 31st, which was technically part of this week, that week. And basically, they're all playing darts. And I love this scene so much. So they're all playing darts. And it's if you lose, you have to drink. And fucking Johnny goes to throw a dart. And fucking Tina walks past, grabs the point and just skulls it. And then the lads are like, "Hey, fucking Tina!" I think it's I've been on the men's basketball team before or dart team before, football team. I'm fucking good at this. So you have Johnny who's trying to throw the dart. He's like, oh. And then Tina just goes, wait till you fucking see, boy. Wait till you fucking see. Just fucking belts into the board. And all the lads are like, yeah. And then Johnny, of course, goes outside, has a kiss with someone. But
old Luke Morgan from Hollyoaks. That one.
It's so funny because Tina's just fucking
it's even when Johnny's trying to be like the blokey bloke, Tina, a very open lesbian, beats him to it, which is just funny.
I love Tina. I can't hate Tina.
Yeah, I hated Tina at the end. She does get annoying, but introduction, she's pretty fun.
Problem is, I feel with Tina is they rely too much on I'm a lesbian, and then just meant, it'll be funny. You are annoying, but we are going to make you 10 times more annoying. And that's why she gets punched by Ian, and then obviously murdered by Gray Atkins. Yeah,
she's interesting here, but at some point, it's if they're like that the whole time, they've not really, they just never let her do anything. She never progressed. She was just doing this for 10 years, pretty much, 9 years or whatever. She'd never settled down. She never had, a constant partner. She just did this for years, and after about, 9 years, you just go, I've fucking had enough of this. Do you not want to do better? But she just was never allowed to. But it's a funny... asking, dumb questions, just she asked Denise, would you sleep with the serial killer if you were paid 10 grand? And obviously, Denise fucking married Lucas. So she's Denise is are you taking a piss? She walks off and she's like, what did I do?
Also, during the Christmas period, Tina brings Shirley to see Linda on the 20th or the 23rd. And obviously, you're introduced to Linda. And we see Shirley being frosty to Linda. And it's kind of will they, won't they? And then obviously when they move in, but it's great because you have Shirley and Tina because Tina's just been roughly introduced in December 2013.
Yeah.
She's just barely been introduced, and like they're scraping by for money. So you have this scene with on the 26th where Billy's in the cafe and Shirley and Tina are obviously there, and Tina's eating someone's food because he left like a sausage or something. Billy's like, wonder what's going to happen to the bar. And Tina goes, it's going to be a gay bar. And then Shirley goes, men in cages. And Ronnie goes, oh, don't get me excited, ladies. It's going to be a massive gay bar. It's going to be queer, everything, flags up. And then Billy's like, but that's my local. And then they continue this scene. When he goes into the Queen Vic and he talks to Alfie, who's behind the bar, he's like, what's going to happen to the pub, Alfie? Like one character asked. I think it's Patrick. And then Billy goes, it's going to be a gay bar. And then Patrick goes, all right, man. I just wanted to bring that up.
Who said don't get me excited?
Oh, it wasn't don't get me excited, but I was like, Ronnie just meant, oh, men in cages. I can get behind that. I just said it'd be funnier if I put don't get me excited.
Yeah, same energy. But yeah, it's like, I suppose, in a very roundabout way, that was essentially saying that there are the subsections of the Carters. There are very different personalities that all don't really blend together, but they're family, so they have to. And I guess you obviously, as the centerpiece, you have Mick, essentially, who is the kind of happy-go-lucky, like, kind of very proud of all his kids, a family man at the core. But then you have Linda, who is high maintenance, very opinionated, very annoying. Like, I made the comparison a lot during we were watching it, but look, if you want to understand who Elaine is, watch Linda in 2014, because Elaine is Linda. Linda is Elaine. They're the same person. All Linda has to do here, if you watch any of the scenes, just add a cackle. Linda makes a joke, have a cackle, that's Elaine. That's just, if you're going through and watching it with us, which I would suggest you do, because it's a pretty fun time. Like, imagine Elaine now, and that's who Linda is, basically. Showtime.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I forgot to bring up another great scene that happened on either New Year's Eve, which is not Linda. Shirley's having an argument with fucking Mick. If I keep calling him Danny, don't worry. I just confused the two. Where Mick's like having a conversation with his mother, but he doesn't know it's his mother yet. And Shirley's like, I'm not doing karaoke. Fuck off. I'm not doing karaoke. And Tina and Mick just grab her. Like, Mick, leave me alone, Mick. And then all you hear is, I won my way. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. And then fucking Mick and Tina join in and go, I won my way. Yeah. I recommend you watch the New Year's episode, Ash. What I'll do is I have it downloaded on my phone. I will go through it and basically clip it and upload it to YouTube for you. I'll upload this scene. It's so fucking good.
But yeah, it's a very weird, messy family, but you can understand why they kind of expected, like, yeah, we're going to change who the face of the Queen Vic is. They're going to be main characters, pretty much. And it made great on everyone at the end. And let's be real, where are the Carter kids now? Where are they now? Is how it went. But
Johnny's the only one that's coming back.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Nancy was back, but her return was very poorly received, and she fucked off. Like, they weren't the best handle, but the introduction was really good, and we get some conflict as well because Nancy and Linda don't get along because, as I said before, Linda wants a pretty princess, and Nancy's like a fucking tomboy, essentially. At some scene, I think it is actually Dexter who gets pushed into her. And then she's like, you touch my bum, bosh! Fucking gives him a good old smack. And then Linda's like, don't smack him, not in front of the customers. And it's a big conflict. And in this conflict, Nancy saying something that she doesn't mean, just goes, yeah, and you don't even know that Johnny's gay. And then Johnny kind of stands there like, oh, fucking hell. And then almost, as that, like, sibling instinct kicks in, just like, I was lying. I was just trying to hurt you. I was just trying to hurt Johnny. I didn't mean it. And then, Linda's obviously like, yeah, there's no way my sausage is gay. But you also have Mick. You also have Mick just
Can you repeat that? Can you repeat that? Sorry, can you repeat that?
I said, no way my sausage is gay. Like, fucking...
I love how you I love how you had the normal hair and then got the Derek Brannon hair, like, involved.
I'm Derek Brannon.
My sausage isn't gay.
But Mick still is on the outskirts, just kind of observing, just like, okay.
I don't know if I misheard it, but Linda makes Johnny a sandwich, and I don't know if I misheard it, but I believe Mick says something like, I always believed you were a homo or something about being a homosexual. He says something innuendo. Maybe not that extreme.
I definitely didn't say that.
But he said something like that's interpreted as, I always knew you were a gay, son. And then he's always like, I'm joking. Jeez, you can't make a joke these days. Fuck's sake.
And this kind of lines up, and Nancy, there's also a big talk between Johnny and Nancy, like, I just want you to be happy, like, as much as I don't understand why mum's on my back so much when you're still lying to her, like, you're still lying to mum and dad. Like, I just want you to be happy, like, just you should tell them. And in, like, New Year or the 31st, he's kissing old Luke Morgan from Hollyoaks. And Shirley notices, and Shirley kind of goes, you don't know me, but let's be real. If you keep really closeted, like, I knew a guy who was, like, really closeted, and he did something pretty bad. So I honestly, let's just infer that he probably just killed himself, to be real. That's probably the implication, that he didn't actually let anybody know, so he felt isolated and he did something stupid. So
I just thought she was on about Ben.
No. Well, nah, it wasn't really that big a deal this time, anyways. But I don't know. I assume that's maybe I don't know, but I can't remember anything like that would suggest it. But I could be overthinking it. And finally we get to the big scene, the very emotional scene, where Mick kind of goes like, "Look, Johnny, mate, come on, we need to have a talk." And he goes through all these really nice things, just like, look, if Nancy wasn't lying, it would be okay, like, it would be fine. And you just slowly see Mick, like, kind of, like, tease him out, like, mate, it's all right. I love you, mate. It's all right. It's fine. Like, it's perfectly okay with me. If you are, you're my son. I love you, And they were playing with it. They were toying with the viewer, because it's like, oh, that's fucking Danny Dye. I bet he's gonna be fucking furious about this, because manly man, family man. I bet he's gonna be furious. And obviously, you get to have them, like, Johnny cries, comes out as gay, and Mick's just, like, nearly crying, just like, oh, it's all right, boy. It's all right, boy.
I made the point to Ash before I go into my story that Danny Dyer seems so toxic masculinity that he almost doesn't care about gay people. Like, I don't mean doesn't care, but he's like, you're gay, I don't care. It's like, you're not affecting me. It's essentially how I think Danny Dyer views, like, that community. Like, he's not against it, he's not for it, but he's just in the middle where he's like, fucking people. That's what people do.
He's just had some really gay mates. That's what I imagine.
He's like, fuck it, do you want to try it, Dave? Fucking come on, come into the wardrobe with me. Fuck off. But yeah, this reminded me a lot of I've been questioning my sexuality for years. I originally came out as gay, and I remember one night my dad I told Ash this story, but I love telling it. Yeah. I remember my dad had a few scoops in him, a few good old pints, and we were talking about me being gay, and he goes, "Look, son, I always knew you were gay, like," and he was just like, "Don't worry, son. Anyone picks on you, I've got your back." Like bigging me up. This is why I like picture it with the Danny Dyer scene, because it's like I was gonna say, Ash, if your old man was here today and you told him about your sexuality, he might be a bit confused, but he'd probably agree. He'd probably just, yeah.
I don't know. don't know about that personally. Not entirely sure.
But I assume if he was here, most dads they like being there for their son mostly. Some dads, 95%.
I assume there would have been a bit of conflict. I'm sure he wouldn't have given that much of a shit. He probably would have been like, I don't understand.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm trying to get across. Like, dads will always.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, unless you're
depends where you stem from. If you're on that like toxic masculinity, like what do you mean? You know, if you're like family oriented, maybe you want grandkids. You know, maybe that's where some would be like,
my point was basically like, if you have a nice dad, your dad will always be on your side. He will be your best mate until the end of your life, until the end of his life. Like, yeah, if my dad's got my back, I remember when I came out to my dad went, "Son, I'm unhappy." And I went, "Why are you unhappy?" "Very unhappy with you. I'm disappointed in you. Very disappointed in you." And I went, "All right, why are you disappointed in me?" "I'm not going to have any fucking grandkids." Like, he's leading me on, like, I'm very disappointed.
Just pulling your leg, like, you fucker. I'm so angry with you. Like a non-issue. Yeah. No, it's honestly, if there's any scene to seek out this week, it is that scene. Because like if you look at the Mick Carter character got old at the end, that's understood at this point. But fundamentally, this scene is who Mick Carter is as a character, and it's really good. And it's pretty emotional. I never came out as gay. I did come out as asexual. There was a lot of figuring out what I like. I don't know. It's weird when people think that sexuality is a choice, as it's usually just who you're naturally interested in. And I can't tell you how fucking strange it was with me being like, okay, I think I'm straight. Oh, I'm not interested. What do you mean? What do you mean? This is what people do. This is what people are interested in doing. What do you mean I'm just not interested in any of it? Oh, there was a lot of deliberations, just like, am I gay? Am I just not interested in women? Like, it's and it's exactly who you'd want to be able to come out to in that situation, where it's like, look, mate, I love you. I don't care. Not important to me. It's like it's always just it's really wholesome to have the doesn't fucking matter, mate. As long as you're happy with it, I'm happy. Just nice.
Just to speak on it, sexuality is not a choice. It's who you are. And if you're going to be in the comments like going, well, gayness is a disease, it's not, because you're born who you're born. You just don't wake up one day and go, you stick your willy in your mouth and go, quite like the taste of that willy. I must be gay.
Just like, one day you wake up, tight dick player. Sorry.
Not like how you do the slap someone on the back. You just slap some guy's willy going, nice cock. Fucking, shake it.
Decent nice cock, mate. Yeah, it's not a choice. It's who you are.
We are basically a channel that you can be open and honest with us. Like, I get 100 hate comments. I don't give a shit. But it's just because it's funny, because Ash would like, I'm standing in your field, brother. I'm going to fucking defend you till the end. No man will piss on your grave. And then my dad's like, haha, you got fucking made fun of, son. Way! It's so funny. But yeah, speaking on sexuality, if I can just make it a point, or if we go further into it, it's just be who you are. Don't let anybody tell you what to be. If you're not straight, you're not straight. There's nothing wrong with it. Conversion camps are just a scam because you can't beat the gay out of someone.
You can't be cured of your sexuality. It's all lies.
Basically, picture it like Ghostbusters. You can't just
it's what I imagine
the ghost out of it.
Like, I mean, it kind of also works as recently Hollyoaks has done a conversion therapy storyline where they've talked about it. But like how it's often portrayed is it's like you're caging yourself. You know, like you're putting yourself in a cage. But it's also like a shock cage. You're like, fuck, I can't. It's one of those things. But yeah, it's just as a concrete statement. Just yeah, we are an inclusive community. We have no issues with sexuality, gender, race. No matter who you are, we accept you and we appreciate you, as long as you're not a massive bell end.
Do you know who would be fun actually to come out to?
Hmm?
The actress who plays Big.
Yeah.
Hey, come here, son. Like, it'd be so wholesome going out to Big Mall.
But yeah, it's a very poignant scene, and like I said, it's how. Just like how George got a hero's entrance, Mick Carter got a hero's entrance, and this was just another like fucking string and going. Yeah, he's fucking great, by the way. He's amazing. Everybody loves him. He's sick. It was yeah, it's just cool. It's a great bit. It's a great piece. Unfortunately, it's where the Johnny Carter character peaked. I'll say that much. It's the best he did on his time on the show. I won't lie. I really won't lie. But, some people never get these moments. So, at least in some way, he's immortalized in the show.
I thought this was going to be a drawn-out storyline. Like, I didn't expect it to be the first week of January. Because you're literally just introduced to Johnny on the 26th.
Yeah.
And it's like... So I thought, it's going to be like a build-up to the 28th anniversary. Would it be 29th anniversary? 29th. And like, I was like, so it's just gonna be normal. And no. The fucking first week, I'm gay, I'm here, I'm queer, and I want to be heard. And it's like, oh Jesus, fair enough, Johnny. Fucking check you, Johnny.
I suppose also, just as I know we've talked about the coming out, but we didn't really mention Linda's fucking furious and crying and pissing and screaming because, like I said, they played with your expectations. Mick Carter, he's gonna be a little toxic masculinity piece of shit, right? He's gonna be toxic. He's gonna be like, no, my boy can't be gay. But obviously they swap the roles, and that's Linda. And it furthers the. I like Linda now. Didn't like Linda for 9 years. I'd never liked Linda till this last year because they had to rehab her image without Mick there. But she was the bad. She was like the foil to Mick's like good, Like it was needed because you can't have the good without the bad. But also, it's just a massive prick. And that's generally all the storylines. Is there anything else I want to generally say on the Mick stuff? Or the Johnny Carter stuff? I don't know, it's just I was gonna say it'll be funny to know that we're no longer seeing like someone who's trying to be. Well, I say that it will continue. Like, what I'm trying to add is, won't be the first time we'll see a very closeted gay person trying to not be gay. It's definitely not the first time we'll see it in this lovely little section, and it's not the last. But it probably will go on for a little bit, so it might get a bit cringy here and there, if you're into that sort of thing. But yeah, there will be scenes of Johnny being like, "Oh yeah, I love women. Look at their fucking knees. Ugh. Whoa." Like, just, it will happen, so be prepared. But yeah, those are the big 3 storylines. All in all, a fucking fantastic start of the year. A fantastic start for WHODUNNIT, the Lucy Beale podcast. And I just want to say, as a blanket statement, it will take a while to get to the Who Killed Lucy stuff, and it'll take a while to get to the finish, as we are just doing it, like, all the episodes of the week in one. We're not fucking speeding through it. We're taking our time as we do. Because I feel like it would be a disservice to just be like, okay, we're watching the episode where Lucy dies, and it's like, yeah, but you don't have any of the build. Okay, we're seeing the episode where the killer is revealed. It's like, yeah, but there's so much good stories in this time period. It would be a shame to not kind of go through them.
My fake plan that I want to do for this is we do the Who Killed Lucy thing till the end of 2015. So roughly speaking, it'd be till the end of 2025. Roughly speaking, because we'll be about 2 weeks or 3 weeks behind. And then I just want to do Peggy's last hurrah, basically.
Yeah.
Because how I feel, I don't mind covering the rest of the 2010s throughout the next few years, because it would be quite nice to have, like, oh, here's 10 years ago. Obviously, we can't do that when we hit the 2020s, because we would have covered 2023 and 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29.
It's a long distance till then, mate.
Yeah, I know, but I definitely want to do at least 2014 to 2016.
Yeah.
Because the Johnny scene made me cry, but the minute I see fucking Pat Butcher in that chair with Peggy going, I don't know if I can do a Pat, and then,
Yeah, there's some of my favourite moments. You know, you have Harry Reid's Ben Mitchell coming in 2015. Like, there's a lot of good stuff, and even you have this like crop of teenagers, which is kind of like my golden era of like the teens. You know, like there's a lot of cool stuff coming up, and it will be exciting. Obviously, the vague plan is at some point, once we cover the Who Killed Lucy stuff, we'll take a detour, maybe cover the Peggy stuff, cover maybe, I don't know, like just whatever storylines. Dirty Den's return in fucking 2003. Maybe we watch his fucking maybe we go back to doing the classic podcast. Like, ultimately, it's a series where we get to choose where we go, but this is the start. So if you don't like the Who Killed Lucy storyline, well, get fucked. No. The point is,
we're going to be here for how many weeks?
A lot of weeks, mate.
85
basically
weeks.
covering 2 full years. So that's like 104 weeks.
Let's go.
It is just. But essentially, if you want to watch it with us, you know, obviously find your own way to do so. But it's a good excuse to watch EastEnders that either you didn't enjoy at the time, you loved at the time, or you've never watched. And everything kind of benefits from a second viewing or a first viewing. So join with us to go on this journey that we're sharing with you. And I hope people have a lot to say about the Who Killed Lucy Beale stuff. Do you have anything else that we should go through before we just end the podcast on that note?
I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode. It's a great week. Watching the previous 2 weeks has been phenomenal as well. Even if it took Ash not yelling at me, but fucking hyping me up like Tina in the pub. Fucking hyping me up.
I just went, because we talked about it, like, Piggy, like, mid-December went, can we start the podcast now? And I'm like, Piggy, mate, we're already so busy. I'm not fucking starting the podcast now. yeah, we can start. We can release on Christmas Day. And I'm like, mate, essentially, fuck off. It's like, all right, here you go. Here's what you do. If you want to watch, like, Christmas 2013, take some notes. You know, prepare us for when we do it and bring it into the new year. And then But he's like, yeah, I'll do it. I've already watched like 3 episodes. You know, I'm like 3 episodes in. I'm like, sick. All right, that would get done. And then it got shelved for a month.
Yeah.
It got shelved for a month until I went, Piggy, are we starting the podcast this week? I went, yeah. And he just went, yeah, we can do it now. And I'm like, mate, you said you were going to watch these episodes. Like,
and I wanted to do it on Tuesday the 16th, and I was like, "You're fucking sleepy. Fuck off, mate."
Yeah, just
fuck
like,
off.
oh, we do it. I'm like, mate, you didn't. You pulled an all-nighter.
I was full of beans.
I don't care how many beans you were full of. You know, it's an all-nighter. Energy fucking comes and goes like a syringe. It's just like, oh, something fucks up your day. Well, all right, I'm sleepy now. Can I fuck off, please? But yeah, like, it's one of those things where it's like, if you say you're gonna do something, just do it, and you did, and I feel like it showed that you fucking enjoyed You enjoyed like watching the fucking Christmas 2013. There was a lot of funny stories that we wouldn't have had if you didn't watch it. So,
just I want to leave people off of this funny story. It was like 4 a.m. I went on speed for people who don't know. I could just.
Sorry?
I've been on speed, which you can see down there.
You said on speed. I thought you said. Oh yeah. I'm on speed for people who don't know. Sorry. Sorry.
And basically, it was like 4 a.m. You know, half awake. You know, after watching about 4 episodes of EastEnders at that time. You know, for people who don't.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh fuck. I fucked it. Did I fuck it?
Fine.
And basically, for people who don't know, so you know, usually when you're half sleepy, your old Johnny doesn't know where to fucking go. Like he doesn't know where the ball is. So you know, I might have spilled a few beans, and basically, Northern Boys is playing. So it's like so that's playing. It's like 5'9" and 6-inch boots. Ladies, would you like to get loose and show me the buckle and the belt untied? Shades black with the mustache boy. I'm fucking there.
For general context, the Northern Boys are like basically they're like a group of like OAPs who do these really like crude but pretty fucking decent raps that are well produced.
Yeah, and I was just there fucking vibing like, yeah. Who's 5'9" in the 6-inch boots? Who's 5'9" in the 6-inch boots? Fucking me. Yeah. Fucking doing that, all that, like in the bathroom going, fucking like, just dancing.
Sleep deprived as fuck, just dancing.
Just cleaning up the beans, just like, 5'9" 6-inch boots. Just fucking doing that. But yeah, I just want to leave that story as a finale. I guess shout out to One More Match 182, our wrestling channel, where we will be also doing a story arc as well. Would you know that we're full of story arcs? We're doing the Christian World Heavyweight title run. I know Ash wants this to be snappy, so I will just quickly. We're doing a Christian World Heavyweight title run.
So that'll be coming out. Do a long ass introduction as well. So,
that will obviously be coming out late January, mid February, whenever our friend that we need is on busy. And basically, we have a Patreon as well where you can pledge to us. The higher you go, the higher your requests can be.
Yeah.
There's only
also
3 tiers.
Say specifically, I'll make this fully transparent though. We are thinking of generally. There's a chance we at some point just put this podcast on the Patreon. It's just to generally see if people vibe with it, because you know, like we did the classic podcast, bad timing, didn't really have the community for it. So it's just about figuring out what people would want to see.
And basically, yeah, and we also have a Discord where you can come talk to mostly me, because that's the duty that I have to do. And Ash will chime in when he wants to chime in, because he's a busy man, is Ash, but don't ping us, please. I don't want to be there at 2 a.m. Oh, Dynamite's on. Gotta see Kenny Omega. Piggy, your thoughts on fucking Linda's boobs? And I'm like, oh, it's 2 a.m. Leave me alone. We also have Kofi, K-O-F-I, coffee. You can pledge like €1, €4 to us, and that will basically buy us a cup of coffee, as the Much Man would say. And yeah, that's mainly it. So we will see
we just
you.
have. Hold on, we have some extra stuff. I did leave a community tab, just asking people. All right, we're doing the Hook or Lucy stuff. Did get too many stuff. Little Tamer Wolf said very exciting, classic, and Chloe Dreamlight or Chloe Rainbow Wonder, whatever names go by. Just Chloe supports us very regularly. See them in our comment section, or see them in our comment sections. Like, you guys are great. It's like, yeah. They also said, I remember that there was old characters like Max, Lauren, that type of thing. It took a while for the story to start to know that it was character who killed Lucy to kill Lucy. We do want to make this as interactive as well, but fundamentally, if there's one thing we want to be able to do, we want to bring people along for the ride. If people watch this podcast and go, fuck it, I'm watching 2014, great stuff. It's a good time in the show. It's a time period now, it's old enough that a lot of new viewers will never have watched it. And it's also, but it's also classic enough to be possibly the last time people watched it, you know? Like, perhaps people saw the outcome, went, it's fucking shit, you know? But it's just,
it's a thing where it's not classic and it's not modern, but it's in the middle. And this is mainly for all the people who grew up with it. Because the one thing I realized with 1985, as fun as it was,
it's like 40 years old now.
It's 40 years old. Compared to 2014, it's only like 10. And so I hope you all will enjoy the ride. And basically, I just want to bid you a farewell, a good night, and goodbye.